Well, that art market was... Well, let's start with the basics. San Jose Art Zine and Book Fair was a 2-day outdoor art market where some art friends and I, after enjoying our experience selling at the San Mateo Comic Art Fest, decided to pull our funds together and pay for a tent space to vent at this outdoor event together. The outdoor art market pop-up scene has been an increasingly more common event throughout the Bay Area, and San Jose seemed like a bigger step up from our previous experiences, so we were all pretty eager to give this a go. But to be honest, I think there were some missed expectations with this event. First off, there was next to no foot traffic. We were told that this art market would be in the San Jose Japantown, so while I wasn't expecting a high density of shoppers, I was expecting some foot traffic from being in a downtown commercial street. When we got there to set up, I saw that we were actually a few blocks away from Japantown, past the train tracks, in a residential area. And it was pretty dead and quiet. I'm pretty sure the people who did show up and stop to browse our goods were just the residents of the apartment complexes along the street who were curious what the noise and tents were about. For the most part, the people who hung around the longest were just friends of the various vendors that were there. Which, speaking of, despite being advertised as a major street event, which I could attribute to aspirational marketing, this was a very small and very isolated thing. I think I only saw maybe 10 vendor tents in total. Definitely not the food truck street party I was expecting. And of the vendors, I think I only saw 2 others actually selling comics. One was selling music records, one sold jewelry, another sold air plant terrariums, so at least those 2 were selling self-created goods, but I even saw a vendor that was clearly selling knockoff merch, so for an event that advertised itself as an art market for comics, zines, and art, it really wasn't that. Because these kind of pop-up events have been trending lately, there have been more market event organizers and event companies out there, each offering different venues, amenities, and fees, so it's hard to tell who can guarantee attendance volume or not. Clearly, the other indie comic, zine, and art creators knew something that we didn't. Which I guess brings me to my point. I'm not here to bash on an outdoor market organizer, but to talk more about the overall experience. There is a lot of selling to the creator that I've been witnessing in these first steps of trying to go indie. Software to manage self-employment, services to manage finances, venues to sell, fees to process the sales. Everybody wants a piece of the non-existent pie. That tent space at the nearly dead outdoor market, it cost us $350 for the 2 days, and we had to bring our own tent. There's a lot of upsell to all the various contact points of being a solopreneur that it gets a little ridiculous trying to navigate it all. There's a lot of scamming, a lot of overcharging, overpricing, and learning the ins and outs of how it all works is incredibly overwhelming. I've definitely gone through a few episodes of mental overload over the last couple of months just trying to wrap my head around taxes and fees and trying to catch all the different ways these processes can catch you. The last time I sold my art was back in college, and it was a hobby endeavor back then and pretty straightforward. There were no permits required, no tax filings, you just paid for the space and showed up. I don't know how anyone could be a hobby seller with the rules and prices and upsells of today. It really does feel like you basically have to have the intentions of being a business or you shouldn't bother trying at all. I should probably preface all this by mentioning that I live in California and the rules might be different in your state or in your country, depending where you're listening from. But yeah, it's definitely gotten a lot harder than it used to be. And the reason I say that, I decided to put the rest of my inventory up on Etsy, which seemed like the easiest online market to sell on. At least their marketing sounded pretty straightforward, if not more expensive than other online marketplace options at 20 cents per listing fee and 6.5% per sale fee at the time of this video anyways. But it didn't stop there. Etsy also includes a payment fee of 25 cents plus 3% to process the payment. And then there's also shipping charges and a shipping fee that involves figuring out all the shipping options and charges in your area, which is a whole other world of channels, packages, and weight limitations to learn. I still don't think I know this part well at all. And that's just for domestic shipping. International shipping then unlocks a new category called customs, and I just don't have the mental bandwidth to handle that right now. I can see why Etsy gets a negative reputation, and in my opinion, it's not because of all the charges and different types of fees they have. A lot of e-commerce platforms do this already. It's more that they are not entirely transparent with the fees. There's a lot of conflicting information, and then just a complete lack of information in certain advertised features. To me, these things just need some information cleanup, but that has not been the priority of the platform as of yet. And to be honest, I'm still pretty new to this world of e-commerce, so there could be underlying regulations and law changes that are driving their priorities and policies. I don't know. But I know as an artist just starting and trying to set up a way to sell my work, they definitely make the barrier to entry pretty high. Nevertheless, I have finally set up my coloring book and coloring bookmarks to be available for sale at my Etsy shop, so if you're interested, I'll provide a link in the description below for you to check it out. In the meantime, I think I'm actually going to take a step back a bit and reevaluate the path my indie artist life is on right now. I had hoped after leaving my job to have the chance to unwind and decompress, create art for the sake of fun, and just ease my way into a new mindset and new way of life. Instead, I found myself running into sales and licensing and admin work for setting up a sole proprietorship. It was a lot. It still is a lot. And after 3 months, I find I've mostly focused my time on selling a product I drew 3 months ago instead of working on something new. So, yeah. Sorry if this video is a bit more ranty than my last videos. Hopefully hearing my experiences so far is informative in some way. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree? Have more to elaborate on? Would love to hear your feedback. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next vlog.